YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Dara, and on this channel I document my weight loss journey, sharing how the journey is going so far, and I also post about remote work tips and study tips, and occasionally I post lifestyle content as well. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then do not forget to subscribe. Thank you. Now let's get into the video. So as promised in my introduction video, I said I was going to share remote work tips and how I get to land my jobs, because I have a lot of people who often ask me, oh hey Dara, how do you get your jobs? How do you land your remote roles? So that's why I've seen the need to make this video to help other people out there who are trying to get their hands on remote roles or trying to transition from their 9-to-5 into trying out a remote job. Now, there are a plethora of platforms where you can get remote roles. I mean, the list is endless. We have platforms like LinkedIn, we have Upwork, we have Fiverr, we have People Per Hour, we have Freelancer.com, and to name a few. Okay, so there's so many platforms, but personally the ones I have used to get jobs are LinkedIn and Fiverr and Upwork. With LinkedIn, it's a bit not so straightforward. I mean, you could get jobs occasionally where you can apply to, but that's not the way it worked for me. For me, I just put out content every now and then, and once in a while I get people who slide into my DM or I shoot me a message on LinkedIn that, hey, can you get into a call with me? I'd like to discuss about a role with you, something like that. So that's how LinkedIn works. Well, Fiverr is kind of funny too, because even I myself don't completely understand the profile. I mean, you have to put up the profile, set up everything, and then just wait for a client to see your profile and reach out to you. So you don't do any bidding of any kind, you don't send out cover letters, you don't do anything. With Fiverr, you just make sure that your profile is completely filled out, and you wait for a client who likes what he or she sees to reach out to you. Now, my favorite of all, and the one which I often get jobs from, which I have gotten jobs from the most, is Upwork. Now, with Upwork, it's you going for the job you want. Okay, so you see a job post that is made, and you like the job, and of course you apply to the role. That's how it works with Upwork. So the client puts up a job post, and you see the job post, and it aligns with the skills that you're sure you can deliver. So you go for it, you apply for the job. That's how Upwork works, which makes it my personal favorite. So the first thing you can actually do is to pick a skill. Okay, because if you do not have a skill, then it is difficult or almost impossible for you to be hired. So the first thing you should do once you have decided that you want to get a remote job is to pick a skill. And there's so many digital skills that you can learn, or you already are talented in them, which you can try your hands on. And they include writing, graphics design, virtual assistants, which is the most popular now, web development, project management, and the list goes on and on. So if you do not have any idea on what to do, you're just hearing about remote jobs for the first time, or you saw somebody working from home and you liked it so much, you admired it, the first thing you want to do is to decide which skill you want to offer, or you can offer. Okay, so you choose from all of that and you begin to learn. The key here is always to pick something you enjoy, something you love doing, and something that clients will pay you for. When I first heard about remote jobs and I wanted to try it out, I thought at the time that it had to be web development, it had to be coding. So I launched into learning coding, and it was just a total waste of my time, because after spending almost 3 to 4 months, I didn't get anything. I didn't like what I was doing. I didn't even know what I was doing, okay? So it was then that I started to ask questions. Is there something else I can do other than this coding? And then I discovered content writing and virtual assistants. And I tried content writing for a short while, but it didn't really work for me as well. So in the end, I settled for virtual assistants, and that's what I've been doing up till now. So the key here is not to go for any fancy skill. You don't have to spend 4 months like myself learning coding just because it sounds cool, or because you like that tech bro or that tech sis who does it, they look cool. No, you don't have to go for that. Find something you enjoy and something you love doing and go for it, because the key is to do what you know how to do best, because that is how you'll be able to keep your clients happy. So now you have picked a skill and you're ready to start looking for jobs. The next thing you want to do is to create a profile on Upwork. Now this profile you're creating on Upwork, see it as your online CV. Now on Upwork, it's not like your traditional jobs where you have to attach an actual CV or resume, although there's some jobs where they ask you to attach a CV, but it's just 1 out of a million cases. It rarely occurs, it rarely happens, because your profile on Upwork is designed to have everything that your traditional CV will have. So your best bet would be to have your Upwork profile completely, 100% filled out, and you start with professional profile picture, of course, because you're required to have a picture. I don't think you can leave that blank. So if you want to go for good pictures, of course, you don't want to have pictures where you're wearing a headset or you just took a quick selfie in the car. It should be a professional picture that shows some level of professionalism. I'm sure you understand what I mean. Yeah. So after your profile picture would be the title. You're going to show what skill you have to offer. For instance, if you're a virtual assistant, then you're going to have virtual assistants written on your title. You could also add sub-skills under it that relates to virtual assistants, such as data entry, admin support, customer service, and all of those skills. You don't want to have too many titles on one profile. For instance, virtual assistant, web developer, writer, putting everything together. No. If you're skilled at more than one thing, maybe you know how to write and you also are good at virtual assistants, then Upwork has a specialized profile. So you can just create 2 profiles, one for virtual assistants and the other for writing. Yeah. So at the initial stage, I always think it's best to start with one thing, and then maybe later, when you get better at it or you start getting jobs and you're getting popular on the platform, then you can add other skills that you're good at. Now you also have your skills section. So after you've written out your title, the next thing is to add very important skills to the skills section, because sometimes the employers just come in and maybe they want a particular thing, so what they do is just search for that particular skill. Okay, so they may not necessarily come and type out virtual assistant, they may just say data entry, or they may say admin support, or they may say email management, or anything that they want to be done. So if you have been able to add all the relevant skills to your skills section, then of course your name might pop up when they are looking for people who can deliver on such roles. The next thing after this is your bio. This is where you have a chance to really sell yourself. So you should be able to write out what it is that you can do and how you can take the burden off your client, how you can help your client solve his or her problems, how you are the best thing to slice bread to your client. So this is where you just say everything that you can possibly do to make sure your client gets the best experience. Okay, so it's best to keep it well, I would say, a lot of people now generate from ChatGPT, and ChatGPT gives you very lengthy and generic write-up, which is not bad. I'm not criticizing you, it's okay. But I think that you could also do with very short and concise and a bio, But even if you want to do the lengthy one that you have generated from ChatGPT, feel free to do so. But for me, what I always do is to add a personal touch to it. For instance, instead of just writing, there's this particular way virtual assistants love to write, like, oh, I help busy professionals to get back their time and stuff like that. No, I don't do that. What I do instead is, or regain time loss, or a generic thing they do. So instead, what I do is I just try to be funny. Like, you see my profile, you see there that I wrote the meaning of my name in Spanish, and I'm like, oh wait, you can call me that in Spanish. Just to be witty, just to be funny. It just makes one read your profile and already likes your vibe. So that's what I advise people to always do. Add a funny touch to your profile. I don't think, for those who really write lengthy ones, I don't think that the client side goes through the entire bio to read everything that you've written out. The highest they could do is to skim or scan through it. So if you can start with that very nice touch, like, hey, I know somebody who says, oh, my name is this, you can call me this. I don't want to do so the person doesn't know that he's the one I'm referring to. So you can do something like that. Just be creative. Make sure that the first line you have there is something nice, like, hey, the way I did mine. Hey, my name is Dara. Okay, I think it's best I put it on the screen so you can see it, in case I've forgotten how I put it. But it's just that when clients see it, they love what they see and they're like, oh, this sounds like a nice person. And that's already enough for somebody to hire you. Okay. Now let's talk about portfolio. There's a space where you're supposed to list out your past jobs or what you have done. So in the portfolio section, for those who have worked before, you're in luck. All you need to do is just bring in what you have done and upload it on Upwork. But for those who haven't worked before, like myself, when I joined Upwork, I had never worked before. So what I did was, while I was learning the skill on Udemy, each of the tasks that I'm given at the end of the lesson, after I complete it, I take a screenshot and then I go put it on Upwork, my portfolio section. So by the time I was done with the lessons, I had so many experiences. I had enough to put on Upwork. So I think you should do same. Take screenshots of your task each time you're done, whatever platform you're learning from. Take a screenshot and upload it in your portfolio section, and that would count as your portfolio. Even if you've never worked before, at least you have something to show that, oh, you even know how this thing looks, or you understand how this thing is. Trust me, you do not need to know everything once you're just starting. Personally, even those things that I screenshotted and added to my portfolio, I still didn't know so many of them. I feel like you learn best when you actually have the actual role staring you in the face. Every other thing is just, it's just what it is. Okay, so just snap it and put it there. Okay, whatever you do, take a screenshot, upload it in your portfolio section so that you have things for clients to see in your portfolio section. So if you're a writer, you want to include articles that you have written on, and if you're a virtual assistant, you want to include things you've done. For instance, you can make the nice inbox, take a screenshot and upload it in your portfolio section, or you can show that you can use any of the project management tools. Take a screenshot and put it in your portfolio. Just make sure that each of those skills, the way I do it, each of the skills that I've listed as being good at, have something to back it up. For instance, email management, then you show an organized inbox. Calendar scheduling, you show a calendar where you schedule with different colors, showing different activities. It's really cute. You can do that. What's other skill? Project management. Then you show yourself using tools like Notion, ClickUp, Asana, and then you upload it in the portfolio section. Or what other skill? Data entry. You show a spreadsheet, a Google Sheet, and you show yourself entering the data, and then you upload it. So any of these things could act as your portfolio. Yeah, you could use any of those things as your portfolio just to show that you have worked before. There's also a work experience section, and you want to add what you've done before, even if it's outside of Upwork. You can say add that it works before. You can, whatever work you did before you came, just add it, add it to your work experience. You don't necessarily have to wait until you land your first role. So fill out your work experience section with previous jobs done, even though outside of Upwork. You also fill in your education, add your certifications, your university, and any other certification that you have gotten over the years. You can add all of them to Upwork. And as a beginner, pricing, you can keep it low. I always advise to start small. Start with entry-level roles and start with entry-level prices. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what to add. You can just, add that. Oh, and I forgot to say something in the portfolio section. If you don't have any ideas at all on what to do or what to add to your portfolio section, you can search out other freelancers who are offering similar skill as yours and check out what they have on their portfolio and try to recreate that. Do not copy anybody's profile word for word. Just look at it and see how you can draw inspiration from that and do your own. So there you have it, guys. Once you've done all of these things, then you are ready to apply to jobs on Upwork. Oh, I forgot to add, there's also a section where you can do your video introduction. If you think that you can look, in fact, you don't need to think, just do a video introduction. I have video introduction on my profile. I always advise people to do everything to make sure that you're hired. So that means doing everything from the profile picture to the video introduction. Just get everything done. So you can do a video introduction. It's just you, talking about your skills and what you can do. That's just what it is in your video introduction. So you can do that and add it to your profile to make sure it is 100% complete. So yeah, once you've done all of these things, then you're ready to start applying to jobs on Upwork. So next week, I'll be showing you how to write a winning cover letter. If you do not know how to write a winning cover letter or you do not know how to go about it, then you should turn on your notifications so you do not miss when I post my next video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my